With 2023 being Tamashii's most productive years, but also being one of their most controversial, Tamashii still finds the time to give us yet another Dragon Ball Z release, and this Saiyan is into fireworks. Bye. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I am Snook, and today we are going to take a look at the newest Dragon Ball Z S.H.Figuarts, and that is going to be in the form of the Saiyan Armor Vegeta. This Vegeta from the Saiyan Armor is not going to be the one that you're thinking of from the Saiyan Saga when he fought Goku, but it's going to be from the very first half of the Namek Saga. It is still going to be the blue leotard with the shoulder pads, but this is not going to have the ones with the thigh guards or the crotch guard as well. So we have a lot of photos and information to go through in this video so you can figure out how to add this newest version of Vegeta to your collection. Well, taking a look at the very first photo, guys, here he is. He looks fantastic. Now, on the surface level, when you're taking a look at this photo, it doesn't look like there's a lot new going on from the original release of the Saiyan Armor version of Vegeta. The one thing I want to point out in this photo right here is going to be he's going to come with the Scouter. I love the fact that Tamashii keeps giving us the Scouters for characters that actually have the Scouters in some sort of way where it's a removable ear or actually a piece that snaps onto the side of their head to represent the fact that they're actually wearing the Scouter. And the one thing I wanted to point out in this photo, let me go ahead and wipe that away, is the fact that they've gotten so good with the lining of the Scouter. I love the fact that it looks like it's sitting on his ear, but it's the right dimensions to go over the top of his eye. Now, when these first started coming out, they actually put on the ear and it looked okay, but the alignment of the eye was either low, not over the top of the eye. But this right here, guys, the alignment that they're doing in this figure looks exactly like the way he would wear it in the anime, and it looks like he's actually using it, which is a big win. And the last small detail I wanted to point out in this photo are going to be his shoulder pads. If you look right here, the detail, the way they are actually hinging out is going to be exactly the same way as the Turles figure was articulated when it comes to the shoulder pads. If you don't have that figure, you are in luck, because I've got it right here to show you exactly how these shoulder pads from this new Vegeta are going to work exactly like this figure right here. Now, if you look at the back of them, there is a small hinge right here, and it is going to be able to go up, inside, out, and that is exactly what's going to happen when it comes to this figure. This design right here personally is one of my favorites when it comes to the shoulder pads. They've done this a couple different times by hinging at the top of the collar, which I don't feel like it works very well because it comes out quite a bit, but this is one of the best ways I have found them be able to articulate this insane design from the anime and have these shoulder pads really work. Let me know down in the comments below if you agree or if you like the way that Raditz how their shoulder pads work. Now let's go ahead and move on to the things that we're going to get from this photo. We're going to get the crossed arms. Those are pretty big staples when it comes to Vegeta. And also we're going to get that smiling cocky face. And this is going to be closer to the Namek Saga version of his design. And I really like the fact that Tamashii keeps going throughout the anime and matching the art style. Because if you watch Dragon Ball Z from the beginning all the way through the Buu Saga, there are big changes when it comes to the way that the art is designed, and this comes exactly out of the Namek Saga, and I think probably is one of the nicest looking Vegetas, but wasn't necessary. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Tamashii is diving head first into the aesthetic of Dragon Ball Z. This faceplate looks so animated, so vibrant, that you can see all the details in his brow, his face, and they are getting so accurate to the way the style of the anime looks, and the fact that you can tell by looking at this. If I pull this faceplate off and have it on a huge lineup of faceplates, you're gonna know that's Vegeta by being able to take these faceplates and having them very identifiable because of the emotion or the character that bleeds through in these faceplates. Now, outside of the faceplate here, we've got a fist, and of course we've got a blaster hand, or whatever you want to call that. We get these two different hands. These are pretty basic, nothing really exciting outside of the faceplate from this photo. All right, guys, so again, they are hitting the ground running when it comes to a lot of the emotion and the artistic ability of these designers and sculptors to match the anime as much as possible. I know I keep saying that over and over, but to me, if I had to have one or the other, the aesthetic and the look of these characters are what means more to me than the articulation. I know articulation is key because you need that great articulation to match scenes, but I almost feel like if you can articulate the scene, but you can't get it emotionally from faceplates and hands, what's the whole point? But this figure right here, this photo does exactly what you want in both of those senses. We've got the highly animated faceplate, which looks fantastic. The one thing I noticed is there's no animated hair, maybe no hair blowing back. Maybe that's a miss. Maybe that's something coming up in a later photo. But then we get the blaster hands. We get both of those hands. We've seen the left one before. Now we get to see that we get the matching right. I'm imagining we get that matching left fist as well. But then the articulation, guys, look at the 90-degree angle here we got there. I love the hip articulation, being able to really stretch this figure out. And I really think that this figure could really stand exactly like this without any sort of base. They're getting better and better. I know Tamashii has had their controversy when it comes to articulation, and I really do believe in this figure. I think it's going to be really, really good. And the fact that we're going to be able to see articulation combined with the love and the care to really sculpt this to make it look exactly out of the anime. Now, the last detail I'll point out in this photo before we move on, other than the fact that, yeah, this leg is 90 degrees, it definitely could go more than 90, especially with that gap right there, is right here. So this is the hinge that I was talking about and I showed you with the turles. It's going to be a single hinge back and forth. It will be able to go up and down, left and right, however you need it to do. And that is a big telling point that this armor from the Saiyan armor from the Lammak saga is going to work exactly like the turles. But if you do have your turles, you know what to expect. But if you don't, you're in for a happy surprise. And I really believe in this version of the articulation from the shoulder pads. Taking a look at the next photo, again, this is where they really go into the more animated faces and more of the hands. Not a lot of exciting things going on outside of the faceplate. We get that other left fist like I talked about, and that's pretty much it. Again, no different hairpiece, no blowing hair, nothing different there. It's just the faceplate. It's showing we get the left fist. This character is coming up very basic when it comes to hands and faceplates. That's pretty much all the variations that we're getting in this figure, but they are really excelling with the faceplates and really making a lot of these scenes come alive. So let's go ahead and move on to the next photo and see exactly what else we're getting in with this figure. All right, guys, moving on to one of the last photos here. This is going to be him slashing a blast away. Here is his flat palm hand. He's got that grinning face again, but the big tell in this one is right here, guys. Right there, you can tell, just, I don't know what it is. It's the angle of the ear or whatever. Let me clean that up so you can see a little bit better. Right there, the ear seems a little off. And that, to me, just believes that they probably didn't get that ear plugged in all the way. And I believe that's going to be a removable ear to plug in the Scouter onto the side of his head, because his ears are much bigger than I think the surface of the Scouter. Just the way that's angled to me and the way it's sticking out, that is how it's going to be. You're going to remove the ear and then you're going to plug in the Scouter. Really, really like it. They're doing a great job. Nothing extra outside of this faceplate. I think it's the same grinning face and that hand right there. That hand's the only thing I see that's new in this photo. If you see anything else, let me know down in the comments. So guys, taking a look at the last photo before we get into the nitty gritty of price, place, all the things you need to know how to add this Vegeta to your collection is going to be this pose right here. He has the light smirk there, it's not that devilish one at the very beginning, I believe. It does look different. You can see that seam right there on his faceplate. Usually these faceplates, the ears come with the faceplate. This is not the case. You can see that seam right there where the ear connects with the faceplate. So it does reassure my take that it is going to be a removable ear. And then of course he's got the light clasp hands or whatever you want to call them. So that's all we're getting is faceplates and hands. So what is your take on this? Is this enough for a figure release? Is this something that you're gonna buy? Well, let's go ahead and talk about price and place, because that might sway your decision on picking up this version version of Vegeta. Now guys, if you've been part of my channel for a while now, you know about P Bandai. It's the online retailer based in the States and Japan that sell exclusive Dragon Ball S.H.Figuarts. This version of Vegeta, the 24,000th power level version of Vegeta, is going to be a premium Bandai, and he is going to be up on the website pre-orderable right now. I'll put a link down in the description below. We are affiliated right here on the channel with Premium Bandai, so if you shop from them and you want to support the channel, doesn't cost you a dime. Just click on the link, order your figure, and you support the channel directly. It is $65 US. It's slotted for June of 2024, and the pre-orders close December 3rd. So if you want it at the $65 US price tag, you definitely need to pre-order this figure as soon as possible so these pre-orders don't close. At this moment, Tamashii has not stated if it is or is not a worldwide same-day release. So is this something worth pre-ordering, or is this a Vegeta that we actually needed for our collections? Shout out down in the comments below. Let me know if you're gonna pick this figure up. Also guys, thank you so much for watching. I have been Snook. I'll see you in the next one.